Hello. I hope you're all doing amazing and having a wonderful day thus far. It's Friday here. Super excited about the weekend. There's some major shifts and changes about to occur in the universe, but on this planet too. So what I like to do is, well, what I'm guided to is talk about the energy, talk about where things are at, and also kind of guide you, if you will, if it resonates with you on, okay, this is what's occurring on a bigger scale, and it's also a macro and a micro, and to help you kind of apply some of these things, understand what's going on, and then apply it within your own life. So here is what is being worked on, if you will, or being addressed, okay? Because as we're going through this experience, we are looking at old wounds, we're looking at belief systems, we're looking at conditioning, we're looking at programming. We're literally looking at ourselves and going, do I want to be this version of myself? Or do I see another version of myself that I actually think might be an upgrade, better life, happier, get everything I want, more magical? Which way do I want to go? So this is kind of where we're at on the scale. We're at a kind of a tipping point. We're at a point where at a crossroad, a choice. And in that choice is dealing with what people call the ego. And I've had I don't even want to say pleasure, because I don't think dealing with the ego is really a pleasure. But honestly, I've had the ability to go deeper into the ego, actually to the root of it, to understand how it started. How was the ego created? What was the core belief behind it? And then how did it amass so much power and so much sentience? Like it literally became its own entity because it got fed into so much. So that was a really cool experience. I'm going to share that with you, but I'm also going to share a couple of other things that I've just come to my awareness that I'm working through, because maybe these might fit for you. So hold on for 1 second. I'm going to pause, okay? Sorry, a little distraction. All right. So the ego, okay? First off, I've talked about the 4 dimensions in the universe. The universe is very simple, but yet complex at the same time. I like to keep things simple because I think with other teachers, and I'm not downplaying or saying that they're wrong or anything like that, but when you try to make something that's simple, complex, and you use big words or you use big terms to try to, in my opinion, confuse people, create confusion, or it's almost like I'm just going to say it like it is, okay, because I just speak the truth. It's almost like a narcissistic tactic, at least from my experience, where I know better than you, I know more than you, I'm more tapped in than you, I know more about these concepts than you, so I'm going to explain them in these ways that make it so that I appear smarter and better and more knowledgeable. To me, that's narcissistic. To me, that says, okay, this person is using this as somewhat of a power trip, control mechanism, because information is free. It should be. Knowledge should be free. It hasn't been for a very long time. There have been actually individuals, entities that have stopped the flow of higher knowledge, of higher wisdom, purposely, to keep masses, to keep individuals dumbed down, to keep you under control. And some of these individuals that you hopefully are seeing the masks come off are those individuals that speak like that. They speak with big terms. They talk in circles. Sometimes they're even not clear on what they're saying because they're not really tapped in. They're actually stealing the knowledge and wisdom from somebody else and regurgitating it. That's why it comes out jumbled. And then they try to make things, again, that really are simple, they try to make them complex so that they can seem smarter than you. But it's not like that. It shouldn't be like that. How about that? We'll put it that way. So the reason why I bring this up, well, I guess I'm kind of going off on a tangent here, but we're going back to the ego. That is an individual who is actually in ego. They are not operating from a place of true connectedness, true greater self, or even at a level of divinity. They are actually siphoning from another energy or another entity and trying to regurgitate that person's energy, that person's knowledge, that person's wisdom. The problem with what these people are doing is that those energies that they're siphoning from are pulling away. They're reclaiming their information, their knowledge, their wisdom, and they're not allowing those energies to leach, to suck, to take. This is the taker energies anymore. Because those energies that we're taking, we're actually stopping the natural flow. The natural flow is infinite. The natural flow of the universe is like an ocean, a forever, what do you call it? What are those pools where they look like forever? I can't even think of the name. Anyway, information, everything, knowledge, wisdom, all that stuff should flow. Everyone should have access to it. No one should be turning the faucet off. No one should be controlling it. But they do. They do it on a universal scale, at least they have. They also are doing it here on your planet, in this civilization. There's so many things that are being lied about, covered up, kept from you, because from what I've been told from those that are in that inner circle is you can't handle the truth. You can't be a free mind. We can't tell you that stuff. It'll create panic. What are we going to do? People cannot handle the truth. Now, there is some truth to that, actually. There has been times where I've spoken truth to people. It goes right over their head. It hits their belief system, and they go, I can't accept that. They're not ready to accept that. Hold on one second. LOL distractions. They're not ready to accept that information because the truth does hurt. The idea that everything or something that you've believed in so fully, and I went through this when I started looking at my core beliefs and my greater self's core beliefs, that was even tougher. Because I've been around for almost 50 years that I had to work through. She's been around for eons, before time. And when I got into her core beliefs and started saying, hey, you don't have to believe this. Look, there's another option. No, this is it. She literally was like a horse with blinders on. It was ridiculous. There were times where it took me weeks of meditation and working in my subconscious to get her to understand, hey, there's another way. We've got to shift our thinking here. Otherwise, we're going to stay stuck and stagnant in this cycle forever. And I don't want this. You don't want this. Let's go. Come on. So I understand how tough it is when you butt up against someone's belief system because they're rooted in that. That's the way it is. That's how I've been taught. Came from my mother, my grandmother, my great-grandmother, my great. It is what it is. But it's not. See, the thing is that you have free will choice to cut that off and choose for yourself who you want to be, how you want to be, what you want to be, and what you're going to do. So getting back to the point of this discussion, which is the ego. See, the dimensions, like I was saying before, there's really only four. There's God, which has a central point in it. There is the ethereal realm, which is the angelic realm, which is also the subconscious mind, which is thought. There's the astral realm, which is where your souls are, which is an emotional based realm, which is where your emotional body is, which is where you travel typically at night when you go to sleep. It's why you feel like sometimes you get attacked. And when you do feel like you get attacked there, you typically get attacked in your sea of chi or your solar plex. Your sea of chi is your intestines. That is where your emotional body stems from. That's where it attaches to your emotional body. So if you wake up and you're feeling problems there, you have been attacked at night. Sidebar. All right. And then the last realm is the material realm, which is where we're at right now, which is where I'm talking to you from. So those are your realms, your dimensions, your planes, whatever you want to call them. Okay. Now, when it comes to the ego does not exist in God. It doesn't exist in that dimension. It's not there. Because God is God. The ethereal realm, there's no ego either. It's just thought. Literally moves like lightning. Like super fast. No time for ego. Ego's too slow, too low of a vibration. They move too quickly. Angels not only can split themselves and be in multiple locations at the same time. It's called partitioning your mind or partitioning self. But they also, they are such high vibration, it's not even measurable because they're so fast. So there's no place for ego. Now get into the astral realm, which is a lower vibration because now you're bringing in negative emotions, negative thoughts, negative. Now you're starting to see an ego form. And now you get into the material realm, which it's basically run by ego. So here's what I discovered when I went into the ego, the root of the ego. The ego was created in the mind of a masculine energy. This masculine's thought process was, I hate God. I'm at war with God. I'm going to disconnect from God. I'm way far away from God. The material realm compared to the God realm are way far away from each other. And this energy that started the whole ego was godless. It literally disconnected itself on an energetic level, the silver cord, from God and became its own entity, its own sentient being. It decided, I'm not going to be God in the form of God works through me, through my channel, through my emotions, through my, I can't even think of the word, through me. Okay? I'm going to be God by myself. I am God. It's two different ways to view this. Okay? The negative way, which means I'm God and I'm going to rule over everyone and everything. The other is I am God because God works through me and therefore I'm going to help everyone and everything. Polarization. Negative, positive. Two totally different ways of viewing, but still God, but not God. But that's how this ego started. It started from that perspective. And then from there, this entity created a bubble, dome, I think some people have called it, simulation, where it ruled its own universe within a universe. Because it wanted to be God. And it started in the masculine, which started from the fall of Samael. Who was Samael? Samael was one of the first two that was supposed to create life, but fucked up. And God said, you got to go in time out. So I'm sending you out to the void. Well, that didn't work out really well because then Samael, which is also the devil, because it takes on many different identities and different masks, got pissed didn't do like a normal kid that would sit in timeout and be like, oh, okay, what did I do wrong? Okay, I'm sorry. Like if you were a kid and you were in timeout and your parents would talk to you and they'd say, okay, what did we do wrong? What are we going to do to make it better? All right, let's do this. No, that is not what happened with this energy. Instead, this energy said, I'm going to rage a war against God, and I'm going to be God myself. So then from there, this energy, if it disconnects from God, it cannot create. You cannot create anything without being connected to source. It's like turning on the light. You don't get electricity, the light doesn't turn on if it's not plugged into the electric. Same thing. So then it was kind of in a panic because it was like, wait a minute, I'm out here in the dark, in the void, alone, pissed off, angry, frustrated, but I can't do anything. I'm stuck. That's when it started to get more manipulative, more cunning. I was like, hey, I know what to do. Hey, twin flame, soulmate, feminine, come down here. I got you. I've been in the void for a long time. I know what to do. Follow me. I love you. I'll protect you. I got you. Okay, I love you, of course. I miss you. Okay, what are we going to do? Blindsided. Fake love. If anybody ever dealt with a narcissist, fake love, love bomb. Not really interested in really loving you. Just want to get in and then stab, 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 take, siphon, 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 use. That's exactly what happened here in the material plane. So the light energy that is connected to God, connected to source, is now overtaken by this negative dark energy. It's not really dark, but it's negative, and is using this energy to create its enslavement utopia. Welcome to the material plane. Yay! Victim, predator. But see, the thing is that when this overtook that, it victimized the whole system. And then just more victim, more victim, more victim, more victim, more ego, greed, more, because this is a void. It is a void energy. When you're not connected to source, God, your greater self, their heart chakras are literally empty. There's nothing there. They literally look like a void. And when you take your energy, your light energy away from a void, they don't exist. They can't exist. So this ego, there's multiple layers to it. The main ego, which is the bigger picture ego, because the ego was being fed energy by you, all of the beings here that thought negatively, felt negatively, did negatively, that were negative. All of that energy went into this ego, this entity. So this, you have God energy in a centralized location. You have godless energy now in a centralized location. Negative, positive. And they're far away from each other. They cannot coexist. You cannot coexist if you're a positive person with an ultra negative person. It doesn't work. It'll never work because you'll be doing this. Push, pull, chase, run, all that crap. It does not work. But this ego on the bigger scale just got fed over and over after cycle, eons after eons and after eons. Imagine all of the things that were done over all that time frame got put into this bank. And eventually the ego got so big, so massive, that it literally was almost the size of God, the God energy on the other end. Ooh, now we have an interesting dynamic, don't we? So that's where the ego began. Now, that's the masculine ego. What happened is that's the predator ego raging a war against God, saying, I'm godless. Then you take on this victim, you victimize this other energy, now that you have the feminine ego. That feminine ego is feeding into the main ego. That's where this massive energy ego has a feminine and a masculine side to it. So, for example, I'm a feminine. I've had to deal with the ego of the masculine and other masculines and help those masculines diminish that ego, to heal it, to get out of it, to say, hey, what you're doing is wrong. You're lying, you're cheating, you're stealing, you're killing, you're manipulating. That shit is wrong. You either change it or you're going to get consumed by it. It's going to destroy you. That's me dealing with those egos. But then inward, I have to look at the feminine ego and go, okay, this ego within me, this energy within me, this negative self, how am I going to uproot it and get that out of me? And that's what I'm working on right now, is delving into the feminine ego and uprooting it, because it literally, for me, and it might be different for you because everybody is different. The ego that's been rooted into me is that victim energy, and also manipulative, because if this is going to do this to me, then I'm going to mirror it. The mirror game in that aspect, it doesn't work, because it literally goes, it's just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Here we go again. It's like a forever carousel and we never get off. It's awful. So going into this feminine ego energy, I'm releasing it. How am I releasing it? Well, it's negative aspects of self, negative aspects of the feminine, me and greater me. And I have to look at those things. Okay, what are the things that I have done? And when these negative thoughts come through, when these negative emotions come through, I stop and go, I don't want to think that anymore. I don't want to feel that anymore. I am going to get out of this energy. I am going to choose a different energy. And then the ego dissipates. One of the other things I tell the ego, because it has, like I said, it has a consciousness of its own. You're literally at battle with this energy, because it's going to fight. It is going to fight for its position within you, controlling you. That's how advanced it has gotten. So what I tell it is, hey, listen, I see you. I know what you're doing. I feel you. I'm going to win no matter what. Period. End of story. We can do this for days. We could do this for weeks. We can do this for hours, whatever it takes. Whatever it takes, I'm going to come out ahead. Why? Because I'm in control. Because I'm the conscious mind that controls all of this, all of me. You don't control me. That's the unconsciousness part of you, is the ego. It's a negative aspect. It's an unconscious aspect. It's an aspect of self that has overrun you and thinks that it is you, but that's not the truth of who you are. The truth of who you are is infinite possibilities, infinite options, creativity, expansion, growth, no boundaries, no labels, no titles, no walls, flow. You have no restrictions. The ego wants to keep you stuck and restricted in old beliefs, in old ways of thinking, in old ways of doing. Fear, worry, doubt. That's the ego. So when you're working through and working with this ego, flip things around if you need to. Like if you're a masculine, then you're probably working with egoic, or some people call them karmic, There's different levels of that for me, but I'll stay away from it. But you're dealing with the ego of women, of the feminine. But you also have to go inward and deal with the ego of the masculine within self. See, I didn't deal with the masculine with my ego within myself because I'm a feminine energy. Do I have the capacity to connect into the masculine energy? Yes, but that is not who I am. I am a feminine. I connect into the feminine lineage. So this battle, which is what's happening right now, this is going to occur. If you're not feeling it now, you're about to. Is you are going to be fighting either externally with your opposite of what you are gender-wise, energy-wise, and then also internally of your own gender, your own energy, okay? The key with the ego is do not give up. Focus. Focus on the truth. The truth is I am God. The truth is I am infinite. The truth is I am the truth. I am that I am. The truth is that I can think whatever I want to think. I want to be positive. I want to be happy. I want to be enlightened. I am amazing. I am this. You have to stay really, really focused on the who you truly are and want to be versus this egoic energy that's trying to keep you stuck into the old. Okay? I know this was a lot. I hope this helped. I'm sorry if it comes across maybe a little confusing. It was really interesting energy to go into because it's not just a one, like, hey, this is a one thing concept. It's like multiple layered. But I do see, which is really cool, on a bigger scale, a bigger level, that the ego itself, the ego energy is dissipating. That massive AI entity is dissipating, dissolving, because God is literally coming into the material plane through you, through me, and is taking that light, taking that truth into those godless energies and saying, no, I am not going to exist here and allow you to have control over me. It's not how this is going to go. And it's going to shift on an individual level. It's going to shift into community. It's going to shift worldwide eventually. All right. Let me know if you have any questions. Reach out to me. I love your comments. I appreciate you. If you are working through something or you want some answers or some help, I am an intuitive. I'm extremely intuitive. I can help with pretty much anything. I've been through a lot and I'm happy to help. And I'm actually doing this for free because it's who I am. And this stuff, I want it to be free, and I want everybody to grow. I want everybody to be the greatest they can be. Because if there's more of us that are amazing, that can do all these things, these miracles, then we will all live happier, more amazing lives. Why would I do not want to maintain control of any information or knowledge or wisdom? Hell no. My greater self said, boom, get this stuff out. Open the floodgates. And those floodgates are going to be opened here in the material plane. We're already seeing some of that. The truth of who people are, the truth about what's being hidden from you, the truth about what's been done to you. So much truth is coming out. And whoop, masks are coming off. All right. Have a great day. Mwah.